sponsored by Eastside Equipment, Hickey Watson, CPA, Sidetrack Bar and Grill, and Midwest Bank of Florence. For the safety of our students and all the patrons that attend our events, we need students to be with their parents at all times. If students are running around during the contest, they will be returned to their parents. Thank you for your cooperation in keeping all spectators safe. This contest is being conducted under the guidance and regulations of South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and educational benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. Remember, you do not have to be an athlete to be a good sport. At this time, we ask that you please stand, remove your caps, and place your right hand over your heart as the national anthem is played. Veterans in active duty military not in uniform may salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, your national anthem. Starting lineups, first for the visiting Trojans. At a guard on 5'10", junior, number 4, Corbin Stark. At a guard, a 6-foot senior, number 10, Spencer Melius. At forward, a 6'3", junior, number 24, Landon Dickoff. At a forward, a 6'3", sophomore, number 30, Weston Sack. And at a forward, a 6'4", junior, number 32, Logan Niederbauer. Faulkton assisted by Casey Kopecki, Tyler Cunningham, Bennett Casson, head coach of the Trojans, Kyle Berdahl. Now it's time to meet the cheerleaders for your Falcons! Ryder Martell, Brooklyn Ford, Sylvia Johnson,
Welcome to Florence, South Dakota for tonight's matchup, Faulkton Trojans versus your Florence Henry Falcons. I'm Nate Russell, joined by Kobe Rowe. Kobe, how are we doing tonight?
Oh, it's a great day for some Falcon basketball.
We've got a pretty good matchup here as we head into the Christmas break. Kind of excited for this one. We're 0-0. We're going to get a drive there. I'm going to get my lineup updated here in a second. We're going to get a foul called. Looks like that call is going to be on Carson Rosso, team's first, or excuse me, his first foul. Looks like team second. At the line for the Trojans, number 30, Weston Sen. That bucket down. We're going to get a rebound there. Falcons are going to bring the ball up. 1-0 our score. On the fast break here. Looks like that's going to be Corbin Stark for the bucket on the layup. Defense there by Kelly, not enough to deter it. Keller in the backcourt. Kelly dribbles, keeps control, picks it up. Now he's in a bad spot, finds Schrader. Rosso with the screen. Zach goes the other way. Gets the ball in the lane, nearly stolen away by Stark, but gets it away to Kelly. Kelly tries to cross the lane, gets it rejected, gathers Lavacek in the corner, no. Rosso battling for the rebound with Sen. Sen comes away with it. Stark up the floor. Gets it passed over to Melius. Melius tries to get it down into Niederbaumer. That pass stolen away. Here comes Carson Kelly up the floor. Kobe, a lot of fast-paced action here so far.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers early. You don't want that. You want them to quite settle down a little bit.
Carson Kelly tries to drive the nail hole there. Gets fouled. Going to get a blocking foul here. Looks like that's going to be on, I believe he signaled 14, but I don't see a 14. It must have been 24, Landon Dickoff. And they put 14 on the board. No good there on the shot. Trojans are going to come back down the floor. Melius has it, drives the lane. Rejected there by Rosso, but going to be fouled on the attempt. So he'll go to the line. That's going to be Rosso's second here, team third. Reminder, they go to bonus at 5 fouls, so Falcons in foul trouble early. Short there by Melius on the free throw. Colby Robinson, number 40, is going to check in for number 41, Rosso. Melius, the second free throw here. That one's good. Going to move our score 4-0 now. Keller gets it up the floor. Looks like a little extended 3-2 here for the Trojans. No, looks like they switched it into a man. No good there. Schrader collects the rebound. Going to get a foul. Looks like probably on number 24, Dickoff here. Kobe, having a little trouble. The Trojans have good size. Having a little trouble getting it in to the lane there.
Yeah, especially with our limited centers tonight with Logan being out. We got to watch those early fouls, or we might be really deep in the bench by the end of the night.
And that's not going to do any favors for the Falcons. Keller gets it over to Schrader on the left wing. Schrader drives, layup, no on the runner. Collects the rebound, though. Dawson Lavacek tried to gather it. Schrader was able to get it before him. It's going to be a foul on the floor. It's going to be Falcons ball out of bounds here. Looks like that's going to be a foul. Looked like he signaled 3. Yes, in the game for the Trojans, number 3, Henry Bosley. That shot no good. Trojans going to come back down the floor. Lob over to Bosley. Gets it across the lane to Sen. Sen on the floater, no. Falcons gather it. Lavacek out to Kelly. Kelly going to bring it down the floor. Schrader on the right side. Gets a screen from Robinson. No go, though. Tried to do a little pick and roll. Kelly, 3. No. Robinson saves it. Nope, they're going to call him out of bounds. It's probably better for the Falcons that way, as there was probably a fast break opportunity coming 5-on-4.
You love to see that effort for the rebounds, though, at the end of it.
Yes, absolutely. That's something, especially when you're a little bit outsized, that needs to be present, is that effort trying to get down. That basket good. Three-pointer by Melius. We're going to get a timeout here for the Falcons. Looks like a 30-second, so they're going to take a quick break. We will be right back as well.
Your local State Farm agent is available when and where you need them, online, over the phone, or even in person. State Farm agents are here to answer your questions and help you file your claim.
This is so excellent.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Welcome back. Action on the floor. Keller's going to bring it up the right side. Going to get it to Kelly in the middle. Over to Lovacek on the left side. Gets it down to Robinson. Can't quite gather it. Tries to push it over to Schrader. Good hustle by the Trojans there. Deflect that ball out of bounds by Melius. We're going to get an inbound play here. Tucker's going to take it underneath. 4 minutes left in the quarter. Keller tries to squeeze it into Kelly in the short corner. No going. Melius steals it. Gets it up to Stark. They're going to call a carry on Stark. He had the ball, tried to gather it, and just couldn't quite get around it. So a turnover there by the Trojans. Carson Kelly calls out the play. Has Melius beat, gets it over to Schrader on the left side, fakes, dribbles. Kelly at the top, fake, drives the lane, up and under and in. Beautiful move there to gather in the lane. That's going to be a three on the other end from Bosley to answer. Keller's going to bring the ball back up the floor. Token pressure from the Trojans. Just enough to make you have to work for it, but not enough to be a complete deterrent. Schrader refuses the screen, attacks the right block. Tries, then gets in a little bit of trouble, tries to get it over to Lovacek on the cut there. Throws it out of bounds, unfortunately. Checking back in for the Trojans, going to be number 24, Dickoff. Taking a seat's going to be Niederbaumer. So about 3 minutes to go, 10-2 our score. Start. Over to Melius. Melius gets it into the middle to Dickoff. Back out to Melius. And just a little back and forth action. High post there to Sen. Sen finds Dickoff on the cut. No good on the attempt. Ball eventually ends back out with Melius on the elbow. No good on the jumper. Kelly rebounds it. So far, good job rebounding by the Falcons, Kobe.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing here is this is a very young team. It's pretty rare you get a team with zero starters or with zero seniors in the starting lineup.
And that's probably going to play a factor, especially in games like this where it feels pretty even as we watch it here on the floor. And sometimes that experience just takes over. Keller loses the ball, but it goes right to Kelly. Schrader, left side, three, just a little too strong. Gathered up by Bosley's going to push the floor, 4-on-1. Doesn't care. Gets a little space, floats it, no block out there on Sen, and the Trojans get the rebound. Eventually ends up back out in the hands of Stark, and that's going to be a three-pointer. Of course, the announcer's curse. I compliment them on rebounding, and what's the first thing that happens? We get a long rebound and a three in return. Keller's going to drive the nail hole. Ball eventually ends back up with Kelly. Finds Lovacek on the far block and in. Good cross-court pass. A little dangerous, right? But it got through. 13-4, ball back down the floor. Stark gets a screen from Sen, but loses the ball a little bit. Bosley down to Sen, working on Robinson, into the middle. Able to get the little hook over him. That ball's in. 15-4. Minute to go here. Kelly at the top. Kelly right side gets a screen from Levacek. They try and run a pick and roll game. That time Stark able to poke, Melius able to poke it away. In for the Falcons, number 50, Traylon Sumner, number 21, Tucker Mumm. Back in for the Trojans, number 32, Niederbaumer. Dickoff will take a seat. Kelly into the backcourt. Keller gathers it. Under a minute to go, first quarter now. Kelly, good move on the fake. Gets it to Sumner, can't quite gather it, gets swatted away underneath, I believe by Sen. It's going to be Falcons ball on the bottom. 11 seconds to shoot here. As long as they can get good action, they probably can get this shot off with 11 seconds. That's quite a bit of time yet. Yep, going to get a push. On that one, Kobe, his hands are in, but he used his whole body to deflect him.
Yeah, you can't completely push him over like that.
So it's going to be Falcons ball on the bottom again. They deemed that one happened near enough to the free throw line. Good ball fake there by Kelly. Turnaround, no, just a little too strong. Levacek battles for it, but unfortunately unable to come up with it. Bosley finds Niederbaumer. Turnaround in the middle of the lane. Rattles around, no. Carson Kelly, the rebound. Looks like they're going to, nope. Looked like they thought about playing for the last shot. They didn't. Kelly tried to get a little long pass. Keller for three off the glass, no. Stark. Hezes gets it at the elbow. They do eventually get it down to Sen. That ball from Stark rejected. Carson Kelly has it. Under 10, going to get a last shot up here. From three, off the iron for Keller, and no. That's the end of the first quarter, 15-4. They're going to go to break. We will as well. We'll be right back.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Well, Kobe, welcome back. We're through the first quarter already. That quarter had some rhythm to it. We're starting the second. What'd you see so far?
We just need to calm down and start making our shots. Relax a little bit and stop making irrational passes.
Speaking of making shots just like that, down under the backboard there, Dawson Levacek able to find it, kiss it off the glass, and put the Falcons on the board. 15-6. That three, I think, was that Melius or Stark? 18-6. Carson Kelly working on Niederbaumer. Good matchup there if you're Carson Kelly. Get Niederbaumer, one of their talls out there extended. Get the foul, that's even better. Niederbaumer's first, team's first of the quarter. That ball stole away by Stark. They're going to get a 2-on-1 here, back across to Stark. He's going to get it off the glass. No, Schrader there to deter it. And the Falcons defense gets faked out. That ball's going to fall for Stark. Coach Rowe going to call a timeout here, try and get everything gathered. Let's see, is it going to be, they're probably going to grant the full since he's not indicating, so they'll be back in a minute. We will as well. We'll be right back.
Wishart Insurance is an independent, family-owned insurance agency. Our passion is caring for people. Wishart Insurance will take the time to answer all of your insurance questions and assist you and your family in choosing coverage that will protect you. We take pride in knowing that our family is working hard for your family. We are your insurance family. We are located at 922 West Kemp Avenue in Watertown, South Dakota, with locations in Clark, Willow Lake, and Brookings.
At Active Heating, you could say we specialize in comfort, heating and air conditioning, plumbing, air and water quality. Active Heating is ready. Too hot or too cold? Our certified comfort experts for Coleman Heating and Cooling Equipment can help. Don't let a leak drain your bank account. Our plumbers can handle it. Improve your air and water quality with an air purifier and reverse osmosis system from Active Heating, your local Coleman dealer. Active Heating of Watertown and Brookings, your comfort experts.
Welcome back, Florence, South Dakota. Tucker Keller right side. Going to try and get it down to Lovacek. No go there. Ball's going to come back down the floor. Kick off underneath, turn around, no. Carson Rosso able to deter that one. And they're going to bring it back down the floor here. Carson Kelly over to Keller. Gets a screen from Lovacek, kicks it down into the corner to Kelly. Back up top, skip pass to Schrader. Gets it, tries to get it to Kelly. That ball's going to be poked away by Bosley, eventually gathered by Niederbaumer, and they're going to bring it back down the floor. Here's Bosley. Middle of the floor. Over to Niederbaumer, back up top. Melius to Bosley, left side, three-pointer is good. So 23-6 now. Keller over to Kelly. This length from the Trojans, Kobe, giving the Falcons a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, they get their hands on every single ball we pass, it seems like.
That ball going to be out of bounds again on the hustle play there. Number 21, Tucker Mom going to check in for Schrader. For the Trojans, looks like Stark back on the floor, and now checking in is number 42, Colton Youngeman. Carson Kelly off the window and in. I didn't hear him call bank. It's after hours, but we're going to count the points anyway. Melius for three, no, too strong. Gathered by Kelly here. He's going to push the pace. Good nail hole run there, rim run from Carson Rosso. Clears out a little bit of space. Foul going to be called. Carson Kelly's going to go to the line. Looks like that's going to be called on number 10, Melius. That's his second, team second as well. Little early to pick up your second, but not too bad. We're not at halftime yet, but not too far away. Carson Kelly, first free throw is up and in. Bosley's going to step in for Melius. Second free throw coming. They're going to trade in a little quickness down to try and get rebounds and send Rosso to go protect the rim. Kelly, second free throw in, 23-10 now. That time, a little quick action. Tried to go Stark over to Youngeman, pass errant and gathered by the Falcons. Carson Kelly had Dawson Lovacek. They get it across the lane over to Carson Rosso. Kobe Rosso just took a little bit too much time to try and gather that and go up. Keller to Mum. He's going to give it back. They're going to try and switch sides of the floor. Kelly calls for a screen, gets it back to Keller, going to attack. Mum thought about a three, gets it down to Rosso. Rosso tries to turn and gather. They're going to call Youngeman. He got a little too much body into him, just was a little late on the rotation, Kobe.
Yeah, it's hard to push a guy like Rosso around as well.
So, Trojans' third foul. Looks like they're actually going to call that on Sen, trying to cut the pass off. So their third team foul, Sen's first. Mum, no, gets his own rebound up and in. Good hustle there by Tucker.
Nice little 6-0 run the Falcons are on here.
Which, in a game like this, basketball is a game of runs anyway, right?
Absolutely.
And in a game like this, the runs are going to matter more. Rebound by Rosso. Kelly pushes the pace a little bit. Gets that matchup that he wants against Niederbauer, or Niederbomber, excuse me. Down to Rosso. Rosso, I think most people would like to see him put that up. I don't discount the pass there to have the vision to try and get a little bit easier look as the defense was there, but I think at 6'6", you'd still like Rosso to take that shot. Stark, good body control, gets that one up and off the glass, stymies the run for now, 25-12. Keller bringing it up the floor. Mumm for three, and in! Thought about it for a second and said, this is my spot. Buckets. Bosley, Stark, over to Niederbomber. Up top to Youngeman. Gonna go to the elbow here for Sen. Sen gonna look to attack Mumm. Kicks it back out to Stark. Niederbomber, the screen. Stark tried to drive, nowhere to go. They're gonna get Bosley for three, and that's up and in. Timeout by the Trojans before the inbound. So they're gonna take a quick 30 seconds. We will as well. We'll talk to you on the other side of the break.
Generational success means different things to different people. But to us, it means seeing my daughter follow in my footsteps, keeping the farm in the family, just getting to do this every day. We're Agtegra Cooperative, and we're generationally successful. That's who we are. Agtegra Cooperative.
Welcome back, Florence, South Dakota. Falcons ball coming out of the timeout after the three-pointer by Stark. 28-15 our score. Little under halfway in the quarter to go. Keller's going to bring the ball up. Schrader tries to get it down to Rosso. The ball's going to be scrummed for. Mumm eventually comes up with it. Trojans defense a little extended. Falcons not quite quick enough to capitalize on it. Good ball fake by Kelly. Tough drive. No. Gets his own rebound. Tries to go up and under. No. Rosso a little late on the rotation to try and grab the rebound. Eventually Stark's going to end up with it and bring it down the floor here to the left side. Milius into Dickoff in the middle. Gets it out to Stark. Keller the defense. Cross-court pass to Bosley. Cut off on the baseline. Nowhere to go. Got to keep him there. That pass deflected. Mumm's going to get called just a little late on the rotation, Kobe, and had to go through him.
Yeah, you're playing great defense like that. You hate to see it end in a foul like that at the end.
So, that's going to be Mumm's first, team's first. It's going to be Trojan ball under the basket. Good defense there by Keller on the outlet. However, the rotation under the basket a little too late. They're going to call it travel. A little hesitation by Niederbomber, and then he swapped the feet, forgot to dribble on the way through. We're going to get a couple of subs here for the Trojans. Looks like Youngeman and Niederbomber are going to come back in. Milius and Dickoff take a seat. They're going to show some pressure here, are the Trojans. Falcons inbound. Schrader going to have to go to work on Bosley. Loses the ball. Stays inbounds. Got to get it across, though. You're running out of time. Kelly does eventually get it across, and going to get a trip called. I think this is going to be on Niederbomber. Nope, I believe that's actually going to get called, yes, on Bosley. That's his second, team's fourth. So next foul puts the Falcons in the bonus, which is shots with time not running. Still first half, so it's not huge, but when you're down 13 points, you kind of need buckets any way you can get them, Kobe.
Yeah, definitely.
The ball deflected out of bounds, trying to get it to Rosso on a wraparound pass. Knocked out of bounds. Keller is going to inbound it. Falcons get set in a box set. Schrader floats out just a little bit. Kelly to the middle of the floor on the runner. They're going to say no shot. He got pushed beforehand. Now, like I said, next foul will put them in the bonus anyway, so Kelly will go to the line regardless. That foul going to get called on number 32, Logan Niederbaumer, so that's going to be his second as well. For as much length as the Trojans have, Kobe, they're having a hard time moving their feet, and the Falcons are drawing a lot of fouls.
Yeah, it's nice to see us. We're playing a lot better in the second quarter here.
Agreed. Mum will take a seat. Lavacek back in. Looks like Melius and Dickoff will come back in. Carson Kelly's second free throw attempt coming. That one up and in as well. So he makes both ends of the bonus, 17-28. Falcons are scrapping. Going to be a travel called, a forced turnover there. And this is exactly what the Falcons need to do. Looks like Youngman and Niederbaumer are going to check back in. Dickoff takes a seat as well as Melius. So it looks like Coach Erdahl choosing to play a little offense and defense with his substitutions here. Not a bad idea when you've got some foul trouble. Kelly over to Keller, gets a screen from Lavacek, gets a little pick and roll action, good entry pass, a little too strong on the attempt there by Lavacek. That ball's going to get knocked out of bounds. Rosso gathered it, tried to put it back up, just couldn't quite come up with it, Kobe.
Yeah, you'd like to see some of those fall in here.
You get good looks, even, I'm going to say, mediocre looks at the basket. You kind of need those to go in. For as much size as the Trojans have, I know it's hard, but you need those baskets. So Melius and Dickoff going to check back in. Youngman and Niederbaumer will take a seat. Off the turnover, Trojans inbound, Stark. Keller looks to trap and not quite strong enough on it. Ball gets out, Stark going to get it across. Falcons choose to drop back and get the defense set. Here's Melius, thinks about a three, no. Here's Sen working the block on Schrader. Going to get a foul called. And I believe they're going to call this on, yep, it's going to be on the shot. So they're going to say he was gathering to go up when Schrader fouled him. That's going to be, excuse me, I believe they attributed that foul to Carson Kelly, his first, team's second. Sen first free throw. A little too strong.
Well, you know what they say, Russ. If you're going to foul them on the shot, make sure they don't make it.
Did a good enough job of that. That ball ended up out of bounds. Niederbaumer and Youngman back in. Melius and Dickoff will take a seat. Second free throw from Sen. A little too strong there. They're going to get a push in the back here on the rebound attempt. That foul, going to get called on Niederbaumer. And Carson Kelly's going to go to the line as they're in the bonus.
Yeah, I bet the coach isn't happy about that one, picking up a cheap foul like that. 1 minute left in the half.
A minute and a half to go, 96 seconds. That's his third foul as well. Mm-hmm. So you'd like him to be a little bit smarter there and not pick up that foul before halftime. Carson Kelly, little too strong on the first free throw. Melius and Dickoff going to check back in. And you appreciate the hustle as a coach, right? But to pick up a foul there feels bad. Carson Kelly, second free throw. Cash. So 28-18. Rosso defense enough to deter it. However, the Falcons unable to gather the rebound. Straight up for Rosso here, working on Dickoff. And just a little bit too much on the rotation. And they're going to call the foul. Dickoff's going to go to the line. Colby Robinson at the table to check in. Going to have to wait till the second shot. Looks like for the Trojans, Youngman waiting to check in as well. First free throw coming. No good for Dickoff. Looks like Youngman coming in for Dickoff. Rosso will take a seat. That's his third foul, team's third as well of this quarter. Robinson in. Second free throw coming. That one rattles around a little bit and in. Subs are going to come in. 29-18. So a little token pressure, going to back off. Kelly gets it over to Keller, who will bring it across. Lavacek. Tries to give it back to Keller. Keller wasn't ready. Schrader was, though. He goes and gathers it. Short corner jumper, no. That ball gathered by Youngman, going to be brought up by Stark. Stark over to Bosley. Bosley thought about a three. However, Sen has good position in the lane. Nowhere to go. Good defense. Help defense on the backside by Lavacek. He's going to come coast to coast. No. Kelly gathers it, however, no. That ball's going to get gathered by Milius. Keller probably lucky he didn't pick up a cheap foul, and that time Lavacek going to stop the action with a foul.
Yeah, you get a nice steal like that late in the half. You just got to make those open layups like that.
And I get the defense was there, but that's one where you have to know contact is probably coming, focus through it, and put the layup in. Robinson defending in the post. Milius gets it down to Sen. Sen a little too strong. Nobody blocks out Youngman, who cleans it up from under the basket. No, Sen able to tip it over to Stark. Stark gonna get fouled. That does not feel like a good foul. He is not in a good position to try and put that ball up. And you had your post defender there, hands up. There was no reason for that, Kobe.
No, not at all.
So Stark will go to the line. That foul's going to get called on Schrader. His first, team's fifth. We're in the bonus both sides. Only 17 seconds left to go, however. First free throw for Stark up and in. Second free throw up and in as well. I believe the Falcons probably going to play for the last shot of the quarter here. Floater from Keller after he got to the nail hole. No, they're going to get a foul on the floor. Robinson's going to go to the line. They're going to call a clear out here. So Robinson to the line. 4.2 left to go in the half. First free throw, no good. Second one coming. Second free throw is good. Push the Falcons to 19. Are we going to get a last second heave here? Probably lucky, no foul there on Robinson. We're going to end the half. It's 31-19. Kobe, I have to believe the halftime goal was probably to get it to 10 or less. The Falcons, they're within 12, so they're not far off of that. But if you're Coach Rowe, there are some things to work on at halftime here.
Yeah, we definitely improved from the first to the second quarter, but they just need to get a plan and devise how to chip into this lead.
And we talked about the length of the Trojans, and like you said, we're moving the ball. The thing that I am a little curious about is we're moving the ball. Those passes aren't sloppy. Normally, if you see a lot of tipped passes like that, it's lazy ones. These don't look like bad passes. So I'm curious to see what the ball action looks like coming out of the half here. So we've got about 9 minutes. I'm going to come back. I'm going to go get a few stats. I'll come back. We'll be back in action. We're going to run some ads until then. Meanwhile, looks like we have a ball toss game going to happen as a fundraiser. So enjoy the chaos that is this ball toss as we go to commercial.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Pests don't wait, and neither should you. At Olson's Pest Technicians, we've been protecting homes and businesses for over 55 years. From bats and attics to rodents and walls, ants in kitchens, stubborn bedbug infestations, even swarms of mosquitoes. We've seen it all, and we handle it all. With expert technicians, ethical treatments, and service across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa, you can count on Olson's to get the job done right. Contact us today at Olson's Pest Technicians. Family owned, community trusted.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Could you use some extra cash? Every Thursday night, we're hosting Chase the Pink Ace with a large jackpot and growing jackpot. I'm RF Bowie, the founder of Team Bowie Cares. 100% of the profits go to local cancer patients fighting their fight. You can get your tickets at any business inside Al's Oasis or online at chasethepinkace.org. Drawing is held every Thursday night at 8:08 p.m. at the Last Chance Saloon inside Al's Oasis. Thanks for caring.
Vision Care is the place to go for new glasses. Our opticians are trained to style you with a frame that fits your face, so they look great and are comfortable all day long. Based on the doctor's recommendation, we'll help you choose the lens features that will be best for how you do life. Plus, you might have fun too.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Transform your fitness journey at Apex Training in Watertown. Our unique studio offers targeted group training classes designed to meet your specific health goals. Specializing in strength training, agility, and injury prevention, we use diverse equipment to help you build strength and enhance performance. Whether you're aiming for sport-specific skills or overall fitness, our expert trainers will guide you with our specialized workouts to prevent common injuries. Experience affordable, effective training at Apex Training and reach your peak potential today.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
When something happens to your car, you might say,
ugh, come on.
Seriously? This is so extra.
But what you could say is,
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your local State Farm agent is available when and where you need them, online, over the phone, or even in person. State Farm agents are here to answer your questions and help you file your claim.
This is so extra.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Welcome back, Florence, South Dakota. Falcons coming back onto the floor. Got a couple of minutes before we start the second half. Taking a look at stats, Tucker Mum has 5 points. Dawson Lavacek has 4. Carson Kelly leads the Falcons with 9. The only person really with much foul trouble going to be Carson Rosso with 3 personal fouls, something to watch in the second half. For the Trojans, they are being paced right now by Stark with 11 points. Bosley's chipped in 3 3-pointers for a total of 9 points. And for the Trojans, you've got a few guys in foul trouble. Bosley's got a couple, Melius has a couple, Dickoff has a couple, and Niederbaumer has 3. So in a game like this, though, Kobe, it feels like the Trojans probably willing to play the foul game a little bit, because right now it looks like the Trojans probably have size and strength that probably is a little more than the Falcons. But also, when they dip into their bench, it doesn't look like they really lose much.
No, absolutely not. What I seen in the second quarter is when we started pressing them, as long as our guys don't run out of gas, it seems like they struggled a little bit with that. Had a couple turnovers, a couple travels. It helped us take I think we won that second quarter.
So, something to watch for in the second half. The key there, like you said, is it something that the Falcons can maintain? In talking to the coaches at the Jamboree last weekend, one of the things that they mentioned is you can kind of see as the Falcons start to lose gas and they start to kind of slow down, and that's something to kind of work on from front to back as far as the season goes. Hopefully we start to see that stretch into the third quarter. Maybe they look a little bit stronger as they go. So something we'd like to see continue to grow if you are the Falcons. If you're the Trojans, you have this game. It's 12 points. It's probably right where you want it to be, although it feels like Coach Erdahl probably not happy with their performance so far, given some of the advantages they've had.
No, and only being down 11 with how good them guys shot threes that first half, it's not too bad of a deal.
That is something you and I talked about at halftime, right? It feels like the Trojans shooting near 90%. I know it's not that high, obviously, but I do firmly believe if we were to go back and look, it probably is over 50% for the Trojans from three-point land. So, for the Falcons, going to be Keller, Schrader, Lavacek, Kelly, and Rosso. For the Trojans, going to be Melius, Stark, Niederbaumer, Sen, and Dickoff to start. So same starting 5, both directions. We're going to get started in this second half. Trojans get the ball. Melius down to Sen, nowhere to go. Good help from Rosso. That time just a little too strong for Sen, though, over Lavacek. Ball's going to come back down. That ball, Lavacek tried to get it out, has it stolen away. Stark going to bring it down the floor. Cross court to Melius. Melius down to Dickoff. Rosso on defense. Good job by Rosso there not to flinch. Just keep it straight up. Going to get that ball outletted to Kelly. Going to attack the block. Tries to go up and under. And they're going to say Melius moving the body too much. And going to pick up a foul. That's going to be his third. Team's first of the quarter, pretty quick. And looks like something on the floor there. A bracelet of some sort, maybe from the ball toss at halftime. Or the umbrella show, parachute show, excuse me. First free throw good for Kelly. So 34-19 now. Second free throw for Kelly, good as well. He's going to add to his total. Bosley Niederbaumer gives it to Stark, gonna look to drive, does left side, floater, gonna be an offensive foul called. I'm gonna assume that's probably something underneath on like Sen. Yep, that's gonna be called on Sen underneath. Illegal screen, that's gonna be his second, team second as well. Turnover off of the foul, gonna give the ball to the Falcons. Keller gonna bring it up. Just inside the free throw line for Rosso, a little too strong, tries to follow his shot, can't quite come up with it. Sen gets it to Stark, gonna bring it back up the floor. Stark gets it down to Dickoff. That ball stolen away, gets it outletted, Keller able to gather it. That ball blocked, gonna be out of bounds. Good hustle there. Not quite a LeBron James chase down, but still a solid chase there. Falcons to inbound, Carson Kelly. Keller in the corner, no. Kelly attacks the middle of the floor, gets it to Rosso on the bounce pass. Rejected by Dickoff. Very athletic play there. Not a lot to be done apart from just attack the rim a little bit stronger. Niederbaumer going to try and get it to Sen. No, chooses the jumper instead. Dickoff, good rebound. No block out there by the Falcons. He eventually gathers it again. Bosley for three again. No. Kelly, good, strong rebound. Needs a little help here. Gets it from Lavacek. Going to have to get it across. Couple seconds left. Over to Schrader in the corner. Corner three for Schrader. Corner three. So Stark brings it back down the floor for the Trojans. Niederbaumer. Over to Bosley. Sen. Help defense from Rosso. Deters it enough from Sen. They're going to say on the line. Good help defense there underneath. Melius going to check back in for Niederbaumer. So far, Kobe, good hustle from the Falcons. Sumner going to give Rosso a breather here. Looks like Youngman going to check in for the Trojans as well. So Keller going to bring it up the floor. Schrader, right wing. Kelly, over to Keller, left side. Gets to the nail hole, tries to get it over to Kelly. Got himself in a little bit of trouble. That ball poked away by Lavacek. Gets it off of the Trojans. No, they're going to say it hit Schrader before it landed out of bounds. So it's going to be Trojans ball on the bottom. Coach Rowe asking how certain they were. Mack saying, we're pretty darn certain that ball's going to be Trojans on the bottom. The screen from Youngman threw off Stark a little bit. He tried to use it and then decided not to and chose a jumper instead. In the process, going to travel. Keller to bring it up the floor. Schrader. Good pump fake, attacks the rim, good body control, no. Sumner tries to battle for it. Too many Trojans there, but that ball's going to be off the Trojans. Falcons ball underneath. Kelly has to battle for it. They're going to say on the gather, not on dribbling, so he had his dribble available. Lavacek, a little too strong. You'd like to see him control the body a little bit more and go left hand there instead of trying to go back behind his right hand. But either way, Melius has the ball. Sen works on Sumner. Good defense by Sumner. Good hustle. They're going to say a little bit too much there on the attempt to get the rebound by Sumner. Going to be Trojans ball in the bottom. However, not a bad foul for Traylon there.
No, absolutely not.
Looks like Robinson going to check in. The referee waving him in, however, he was busy talking to Coach Rowe. Sumner's going to take a breather here. Melius over to Bosley. Bosley pressured by Schrader. Good defense, nowhere to go. Gets it to Stark. Stark working on Keller. Keller cuts him off, forces him back the other way. Good help by Kelly. Enough to deter it, gathered by Kelly. Looks like he's going to push the pace. Has Lavacek. Lavacek, layup. Yes! Count it, and one. So the old-fashioned three-point play attempt here by Lovacek. Shot there, up and in for Lovacek. That's going to pull the Falcons within 6. Two-possession game if the Falcons play it right. Milius working on Lovacek, gets the nail hole on the crossover. Floaters up and in. Good move there by Milius. Kobe, this is where some of that conditioning is going to start to show itself. One too many there on the drag by Carson Kelly. Caught the errant elbow, but they're going to say travel happened first. Robinson will take a seat. Rosso back in. Stark brings it up the floor. Keller gets lost off the screen, tries to grab. Not enough for the foul, though. Schrader tries to deter Bosley. They're going to get a foul called there, probably on Schrader on a reach. Yep, they're going to call that one on Schrader. Team second, his second as well. Youngerman going to check back in. Looks like for Dickoff. Sen working on Rosso. Nowhere to go. Good defense by Rosso there. Gathered by Kelly. He's going to push it. Gets it to Rosso. Gets it up to Lovacek. Lovacek, no, too strong. Tries to gather it. Kelly does eventually. Rosso has position. Need to get it to him. Chooses not to. Keller going to attack. No. Not a good attack there by Keller. Got in the middle of the lane and nowhere to go. That's going to be a travel. Kobe, you'd like to see the ball get down to Rosso there. He had position twice, and they did not enter the ball.
Yeah, what I've been seeing by these last two travels here is they go to pass, but they hesitate. You just can't have hesitation when you pick up the ball to pass it.
And really, that's kind of a result of I am going to dribble and attack, but I have no plan, right? And so you get yourself into a spot. Is that bucket good by Sen on the pass underneath? You get yourself in a bad spot by attacking without knowing exactly what it is you're trying to accomplish. Attacking is good, but attacking without a plan doesn't help anybody. Tie up there, Rosso and Milius. Great strength by Milius to go up against the 6'6" sophomore and tie that ball up. You would normally expect the guy that's 6'6", about 290, to be able to tear that ball away. Milius was attached. Keller gets the ball into Kelly. Over to Lovacek. In the corner, no. Keller. Pass to the left side, no on the three-pointer. Scramble. They're going to call it off of the Trojans. Going to be Falcons' ball. Went out in the corner. If I remember right, the way the out-of-bounds rules work, well, it looks like they're going to call it out the side, so they're going to put it to the corner on the sideline. Schrader over to Kelly. Fake handoff, tries to get it down to Rosso. Rosso was busy getting a little bit deeper position, and the pass goes awry. They're going to bring the ball back down the floor here. Bosley for the Trojans. Dickoff working on Rosso. Good job cutting that drive off. Schrader just a little bit too late on the hands. They're going to call a reach. That's going to be his third foul, so we're going to see Tucker Mumm come check in. Milius also checking in the game. Looks like Bosley going to take a seat. Both teams at 3 team fouls for the quarter. 2 minutes to play yet. Good attack by Milius, gets it down to Sen, working on Tucker Mumm. Tucker Mumm giving up just a little too much size there against Sen to be able to deter that shot. So 39-27 now. That ball out of bounds off the Trojans. The student section giving the Trojans a little bit of the business there as they're near. Keller gets it back. Lovacek. Carson Kelly up top. Not quite the pass you're looking for the Falcons. trying to get it underneath there, and that pass gets cut off. Again, that length for the Trojans playing a factor. Dickoff attacks the middle, tries to float it. I think he thought he was going to get some body contact and a foul called, and Carson Rosso doing a good job not overextending, keeping himself in good position. So Youngeman back on the floor for the Trojans. Looks like Dickoff, Youngeman, Sen, Bosley back on the floor, as well as Stark. Rosso gets the shoes tied. 90 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Keller gets it across. Tucker Mum. Carson Kelly just a little too late. Carson Rosso needs to cut to that block, I think. That way he doesn't have that longer pass when it's coming across the lane like that. Good entry there to Dickoff. Dickoff able to put it up and in. Minute to play now. So Lovacek tries to get it down to Rosso. Not entirely sure. I think maybe Lovacek thought Rosso was going to come out and meet that ball, and he felt he had enough position to stay. We're going to get a timeout. Looks like a full timeout for the Falcons. A little less than a minute to play. They're going to take a break. We will as well.
Wishart Insurance is an independent, family-owned insurance agency. Our passion is caring for people. Wishart Insurance will take the time to answer all of your insurance questions and assist you and your family in choosing coverage that will protect you. We take pride in knowing that our family is working hard for your family. We are your insurance family. We are located at 922 West Kemp Avenue in Watertown, South Dakota, with locations in Clark, Willow Lake, and Brookings.
At Active Heating, you could say we specialize in comfort, heating and air conditioning, plumbing, air and water quality. Active Heating is ready. Too hot or too cold? Our certified comfort experts for Coleman Heating and Cooling Equipment can help. Don't let a leak drain your bank account. Our plumbers can handle it. Improve your air and water quality with an air purifier and reverse osmosis system from Active Heating, your local Coleman dealer. Active Heating of Watertown and Brookings, your comfort experts.
Welcome back to Florence, South Dakota. I'm Nate, he's Kobe. Little less than a minute to play third quarter. Sen's going to inbound it to Bosley. 41-27 our score. Falcons on a little bit of a dry spell here, so they need something, a good stop here preferably, and then get the ball back on the other floor. You'd like to see the third quarter end in some kind of basket. Bosley over to Melius. Under 20 in the shot clock. Melius gets it to Sen in the middle. Nowhere to go. Gets it out to Stark. Two defenders close out. That leaves not a lot of people to try and gather that rebound. They're going to call that off of the Trojans. Coach Erdahl asking about that ball being tapped from behind by Mum, I believe. He's going to fall on deaf ears. It's going to be Falcons basketball. Shot clock is off, so they can take the last shot if they would like to. And that's going to be a push. I believe on Youngeman. There was a screen, and I think they're going to call Youngeman trying to go through the screen. So it's going to be Falcons basketball. They're going to call it under the basket as the screen happened up at the free throw line. Going based on where the foul was called and not where the ball was located at the time of the foul. That ball stolen away from Stark. We talked about crisp passes. That pass not quite as strong. Lovacek the foul. 11 seconds to go. I know you don't want him to have a layup. However, there's probably a way there without the foul. That's going to be his third. That also important.
Yeah, Russ, you start the second half off real good. You get the game down to 6 points, and then just simple mistakes, and it's right back to where it was.
And that's teams that are, again, more experienced. That basket up and off the inbound for Sen. going to be an and one attempt here. Those teams that have that experience, like we talked about, Kobe, they have a way of weathering that storm. So Niederbaumer will take a seat. Sen, and one attempt coming. And the free throw good for Sen. Going to be less than 10 seconds to go now. Carson Kelly going to look to attack, gets it to Keller, fake. Going to try and go up and under, no call under the basket. That a simple case of you got yourself that deep, we're not going to bail you out. So that's going to end the third quarter. We're going to go to the fourth. 44-27. They're going to take a minute. We will as well. We'll be right back.
Generational success means different things to different people. But to us, it means seeing my daughter follow in my footsteps, keeping the farm in the family, just getting to do this every day. We're Agtegra Cooperative, and we're generationally successful. That's who we are. Agtegra Cooperative.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Welcome back, Florence, South Dakota. My name's Nate. He's Kobe. Going to start the fourth quarter here. Trojans have the ball. Sent up top. Going to get it over to Dickoff. Melius ends up with it. Niederbaumer right side gets it down to Dickoff. Late rotation there by the Falcons defense. Good entry and good layup there by the Trojans. Lovacek, Schrader left corner three, no. Good battle for the rebound. A lot of bodies flying around. Schrader, I think that one a little bit of a frustration foul. That not the ideal situation though. That's going to be his fourth. Coach Rowe going to trust Schrader to stay on the floor, however. I don't know that Schrader's necessarily aware that he has 4 fouls. Still relatively aggressive on that inbounds. Stark for three. Good from the left side. Keller over to Schrader on the left side. That ball stolen away on the drive attempt. Stark gonna get it to Melius. Melius gonna attack, good attack there. Gets it to Sen in the middle. Turnaround floater, good. Rosso at the table to check back in. I've watched a few basketball games in my day, Kobe, and after talking with a close friend of mine, one of the things that we've talked about is in basketball, the score is a little bit different in boys and girls, but there's always a race, right? You're always racing to a certain score, and for the boys, it's 60. It's always a race to 60. Whoever makes it 60 first is going to win that game, is what this young man has said. And, you know, right now it's 51-27. I know we're not quite to 60, but they're well on their way to win that race, and it kind of feels like most games I watch, that holds true. So, fourth quarter, we have a timeout on the floor from Coach Rowe. We're going to keep it here. That way we don't miss any of the action. 51-27. Falcons still on that stretch of no baskets. I believe Coach Rowe being reminded, I believe he only has one timeout left. That's what the board shows anyway. So Falcons will have it in the front court. Inbounded to Schrader. Get it to Keller. Looks like Falcons are going to choose to go 5 out here, with Rosso up on the wing. Kelly, turnaround, good body control, good basket. You need that from your playmaker to get us back on the board here. 51-29. Stark, understanding game situation, knows there's no reason to drive that ball out of control. Melius on the attack, up and under the opposite side. Nowhere to go. Kelly needs some help here, gets it to Schrader. Schrader hesitation and attack, floats it just a little too strong. Lovacek in the mix? No. Sen gonna end up with the ball. Melius. Over to Stark. Stark gonna enter it to Dickoff, working on Rosso. Denied, gets it back out to Melius. Melius hesitation, elbow jumper, no. Not quite enough on the box out attempt there by Rosso. And Dickoff able to gather it and put it back off the glass. Gonna be basket for the Trojans. Waiting to check in at the table for the Falcons, Braden Scott. No good, Schrader for 3. Stark gonna bring it across. Lovacek gets a little pressure there just to slow him down a little. Keller works under the screen. Dickoff for 2, no. Battle for the rebound, tipped around. Tries to get it to somebody as Kelly, nobody home. Threw it just a little wide. He had Lovacek and Schrader there. Schrader gonna take a seat. So, number 10, Braden checks in. Keller defending the inbound. Melius dumps it down to Sen. Gets Rosso off his feet. Good attack there. Tight line on that pass, able to get it in and gets Rosso on the foul.
I believe that's number 5 too, Russ.
It's either 4 or 5. That is foul number 5. You are correct. So Colby Robinson, number 40, will check in. The 2 Trojan players will have to wait to the second shot. Rosso has to sub out immediately because of... Nope, they're going to bring him in right away since there was substitution happening anyway. Bosley back on. Niederbaumer will take a seat. Looks like Youngeman waiting to check in for Sen. Little bit of a discussion at the scorer's table. Not entirely sure. Looks like maybe it's about who is on the floor. Looks like they're going to bring Robinson back. And they're busting out another scorebook. I'm going to guess, Colby, this is a quarters count problem.
Didn't they move it to 8 quarters a couple years ago, or is it still at 6 playing tonight?
I'm going to be the first person to tell you when I don't know, which, having coached football with you, you know doesn't happen very often. I generally know. This is basketball, however, and I'm going to tell you I'm not entirely sure. So, looks like we're good. Play on, says the ref.
You know, I've watched a lot of high school basketball, and I don't know if I've ever actually seen that called before.
I'm sure in all of my years having watched it, it probably has happened. With that said, I can't remember distinctly the time that it happened.
Is that just a technical, or are they done for the night then in that situation?
It would be a technical, and then that player would have to come off the floor because they are then out of time. So you don't have that player to play because they're done, they're out of quarters for the day, and you then lose, you get free throws. You finish that free throw from the foul, and then you lose the ball as well. Kelly working in the middle. Lovacek up top. No, short on the 3. Good hustle by Robinson. That's what happens. You hustle and good things come your way. Off the glass for Robinson and in, 55-31. Falcons some work to do. Speaking of hustle, Dickoff wide open on the block. Falcons are going to bring it back up the floor here. Carson Kelly for three, no. Trojans get the rebound, bring it back up the floor. Falcons have 2 fouls, but they're going to have to play it tight and try and force some action here. Lovacek working on Dickoff, able to push Dickoff off the spot. Robinson gathers the rebound. Long pass up the court to Lovacek. He gets the 2 points. Good eyes by Keller to come up with that assist. So 57-33. Falcons with some work to do. Milius. Stark. Gonna try and get it down to Dickoff. Good rotation there by Lovacek. However, unable to come up with it. Youngeman, the 2-point shot, no. Rebound, Lovacek gonna get it to Keller. Pushes it up the floor to Robinson. Robinson just turns around and puts up the jumper. No, Kelly gets the rebound. Skip pass over to Skop. Gets denied in the short corner, gets the ball back out. Here's Kelly. Long 2-point jumper, no. Lovacek smart there to not just reach out and foul. Ball across. Good poke away there. Kept his spacing and poked the ball away. Yep, that's going to be out of bounds. That's going to be Falcons' ball. Sub in. Sen going to check back in. Youngeman will check out. Falcons get the play set. Ball inbounded to Kelly. Keller in the corner, no. Drives it to the middle, kicks it back out. Kelly down the right side, long Euro step. That's that athleticism coming into play there. 35-57. All right, we're going to get a quick timeout here. They'll be back, we'll be back.
Pests don't wait, and neither should you. At Olson's Pest Technicians, we've been protecting homes and businesses for over 55 years. From bats and attics to rodents and walls, ants in kitchens, stubborn bedbug infestations, even swarms of mosquitoes. We've seen it all, and we handle it all. With expert technicians, ethical treatments, and service across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa, you can count on Olson's to get the job done right. Contact us today at Olson's Pest Technicians. Family owned, community trusted.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Could you use some extra?
Welcome back, Florence, South Dakota. 2 minutes to play here. Looks like number 15, Aiden Sieglock, is checked in for the Falcons, out of the timeout as well. Trojans ball underneath. Sen working on Robinson, turned away. Milius over to Stark. Sieglock going to stay back, going to allow the Trojans to work some of that clock. Bosley to Milius in the corner. Stark over to Bosley. Good fake there, got Sieglock out of position. Good drive by Stark. Lovacek late on the rotation. That's going to be bucket. Lovacek, good drive, gets it up and off the glass. 59-37. Trojans again going to take their time. Looks like they've got a whole shift change, hockey style, waiting at the scorer's table. Melius over to Sen, over to start, to Bosley. Looks like they're going to call a timeout to get the subs in. So they're not going to go anywhere, neither will we. They're just going to get 5 on, 5 off. Under a minute to play here. For the Trojans, looks like number 2, Noah Boudouin. Looks like number 14, Simeon Syme. Looks like number 12, Tate Bray. And then number 40, which is Riley Simons, and number 50, Seth Roseland. Carson Kelly going to bring the ball up the floor. Aiden Sieglock going to get the ball right side for 3, short. Trojans will bring it back across the floor. Shot clock is off. 3-point basket there. I believe Bray. Nope, that was Syme. No good. Falcons will bring it back across. Sieglock will attack. Kicks it back out to Scott. No, Robinson tries to rebound. Foul called. That one's going to get called on number 40, Riley Simons. Oh, excuse me. That's going to get called on Robinson. So it's going to be Trojans' ball. They'll inbound it. And that's going to end our game, as they don't even have to get the thing across. So, your final from Florence, 59-37. Kobe, not quite the outcome we were looking for. There were some good spots, however. And I think at the end of the day, the Falcons going to reload. They have a very tough matchup tomorrow against the Clark-Willow Lake Cyclones.
Yeah, early in the season like this, I mean, they played 3 games in a row with no practices in between. We got a really young team here. I think they're just going to keep getting a little better, grow together week after week.
And as a player, I know practices aren't the most exciting thing in the world. You love that feeling of competition. However, as a coach, you have to have that practice time in order to actually work on skills and work on that growth. So hopefully they get some practice time in. Obviously not tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to end up in Willow Lake. But with that practice time, like you said, hopefully we start to see that growth. So for the Falcons, they're going to move to 1-2 on the season. They're going to go to Willow Lake tomorrow. 1-3. My apologies. I teach business, not math, so my ability to count is shaky. They're going to move to 1-3. They're going to go to Willow Lake tomorrow to take on the Clark-Willow Lake Cyclones. That happens to be the next time the girls' team is also in action. It's a doubleheader. Make your way on out there if you can. We'll take all the support we can handle. We wish you a Merry Christmas from myself. For Kobe, I'm Nate. Thanks for being along with us, and have a great holidays.
Every Thursday night, we're hosting Chase the Pink Ace with a large jackpot and growing jackpot. I'm RF Bowie, the founder of Team Bowie Cares. 100% of the profits go to local cancer patients fighting their fight. You can get your tickets at any business inside Al's Oasis or online at chasethepinkace.org. Drawing is held every Thursday night at 8:08 p.m. at the Last Chance Saloon inside Al's Oasis. Thanks for caring.
Vision Care is the place to go for new glasses. Our opticians are trained to style you with a frame that fits your face, so they look great and are comfortable all day long. Based on the doctor's recommendation, we'll help you choose the lens features that will be best for how you do life. Plus, you might have fun too.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.